I walked down a long corridor of empty storefronts next to Mr. Jenkins, a fat man who sweated through his polyester blazer. He smoked a cigar. Indoors. That's probably illegal, and I thought maybe he was testing me. I was there to take the job as the overnight security guard for his dying mole. Was he testing me? See if I had the moral courage to call out a man in power for violating the rules of this space. No, I decided. He didn't give a fuck anymore. All the stores closing, and here he was having to hire an overnight security guard to stand sentry for a bunch of unprofitable space. Almost 1 million square feet of retail space, he said. 8 full corridors, 3 with second levels, beautiful statues and fountains designed by an incredible artist, a food court, and 3 major department stores. He stopped talking, waiting for some input from me. Impressive, I said. Yeah, he said. Used to be. What's the need for an overnight guard? I asked. Has there been an uptick in crime? Worse, he said. Fucking YouTubers. I'm sorry, I said. It's this website where people post videos. I know what YouTube is, I said. I'm 24 and not Amish. I mean, what are they doing in the mall? Breaking in at night, filming their videos. Skateboarding, pranking, or stunting, he said. Is the place haunted? I asked. He stopped. Looked me in the eyes. Malls are like hospitals. Or colleges, he said. Big, public areas. There's not one in the country that doesn't have at least one ghost story attached to it. Doesn't mean they're true. He took a puff of his cigar. You a YouTuber, Brian? No, I said. Job's yours if you want it. The first few shifts were easy. I'm a night owl. It's why I applied for the job. That, and I didn't know what else to do with my recently acquired BA in philosophy. I'm pretty sure Socrates was an overnight security guard until Plato started writing down everything he said. So, who knows, lightning could strike twice. I'd start my night by doing a full lap around all the corridors, ride up and down the escalators, go through the employee-only hallways that house a few storage rooms with stores. They're mostly empty since the mall itself is devoid of stores. It's weird to think that all the empty storefronts I'd walk past, they all used to be places people would flock to weekly if not daily. I guess internet shopping got rid of all that. Anyway, the whole night I'd blast music from my phone through the mall's loudspeaker system. It wasn't a bad gig. On the 4th night, I left my phone at the central kiosk playing a mix of 80s pop while I wandered around. It was a little after 3 a.m. by that point. At the ends of all the corridors were fountains with faceless metal statues. They held each other's single quote hands and danced in a circle around the fountain. All corridors had some variation of these same statues in almost identical poses. I was on the 2nd floor, overlooking a fountain. Each head looked to the left at the next statue. I'm sure of it. I'd seen the statue dozens of times by this point. But I leaned over the rail. One of the statues looked up at me. I jumped back. I couldn't have seen what I thought I did. Or maybe I never noticed that one of the statues happened to be looking upwards. I leaned back over the rail. The statue now looked to the left at the next statue. As they all did. I avoided the end of that corridor the rest of the night. The next night I came in early while the remaining shops were still open. I figured I'd grab dinner in the food court, walk around the mall in a less creepy context, and maybe ask some of the other employees if they ever saw anything weird. I'd had a slice of pizza at Sbarro when I saw her goth yogurt girl. That's probably not her name. That's what I called her in my head. She had long black hair, black eyeshadow and nail polish, pale skin. But she wore this pastel, girly yogurt shop uniform that completely clashed with her personal aesthetic. I wasn't hungry but decided to get some yogurt. Large shake please, I said. What flavor? She said. Could you swirl the cocoa crazy chocolate and the salivatingly strange strawberry together? I like it, she said, and got to work on my order. I'm Brian, I said. The new security guy. Figured from the uniform, she said. How long have you worked here? I asked. Well, I finished my associates a little over a year ago and bought this place, she said. Wait, you own the yogurt shop? Yeah, she said. The old owner wanted out since the mall's not doing so hot. I got it for a song. Figured it was cheaper than finishing my 4th-year degree. Why don't you make it all Gillette themed then? Sorry if that's rude to ask. It's just. No, I get it, she said and handed me my shake. That's like my thing. She gestured at her makeup. I get it. If the place were all goth, people would assume I only had black yogurt or something. But if I'm the pretty yogurt princess, she curtsied, customers know I have all sorts of fruity and fun flavors. I sucked up some of the chocolate strawberry yogurt. This is amazing, I said. I handed her cash. Hey, can I ask you something? Yeah, I'm one step ahead of you, she said with a smile. She was writing something on my receipt. What? I said. I was going to ask if you ever saw anything weird in the mall. Anything spooky? Creep you out? She stopped writing. Her eyes narrowed. Who told you to ask me that? She asked. Leave me alone, I'm sick of getting made fun of. She tossed my change and receipt to me and stormed off to her back room. I walked away and looked at the receipt. She was giving me her phone number before I pissed her off. That night I made every excuse not to walk down to the end of the corridor that spooked me. There's a CCTV system, but Jenkins had mentioned it kept breaking and he got tired of constantly getting it repaired. I spent a good part of the night fiddling with it, trying to get it working again. No such luck. I spent time on YouTube, looking for these videos that feature the mall. I found several by a skateboarder ripping down the hallways and through empty stores. In one video, Jenkins sees him and tries to chase him for like 5 feet before he gives up, puffing out cigar smoke as he doubles over. There were a handful of prank videos too, almost all of which involved a teenage boy pushing another teenage boy into one of the fountains. Oddly, I couldn't find any off-stunting videos or anything creepy for that matter. A little after midnight, I stared into a pillar with a reflective surface. It distorted my shape like a funhouse mirror. Blue Monday was playing over the loudspeakers. 80s music felt appropriate for the mall, so I kept playing the same mix of songs. Through the reflection, I saw something shining behind me. Around the nearest corner was a faceless metal statue. Its head poked around an empty corner store, its hands clutching the edge of the wall, barely in sight. None of the statues were positioned like that anywhere, and they were all at the ends of corridors near fountains. Not here. I sprinted down the hall away from the statue to the nearest exit. Blue Monday played and I thought I was mistaken and I thought I heard you speak. Tell me, how do I feel? Tell me now, how should I feel? The chain gate was locked shut in front of the doors. I fumbled with the keys. As I did, I turned back. The statue was at the end of the hall out in the open. One arm reached out to me. I stopped searching for the gate key. YouTubers, I thought. They're the reason I got hired. What if this is some elaborate video prank? Scare the security guard. I might end up in a viral video looking like the biggest coward. I put my keys back and took deliberate steps towards the statue. Mouth closed, I said in an octave lower than my normal voice. You're not supposed to be in here. I straightened my back. The statue didn't move. I don't know what got into me, adrenaline I guess, but I sprinted at it. You're trespassing, I said. The statue was motionless. All right, I thought. You want to play chicken? I can play chicken. I leapt to tackle the statue. My body thudded against the hard metal torso. Then the back of my head slammed into the tile floor. As I lay there, dizzy, the statue moved. It bent over my body and tilted its head like a dog. I passed out. I woke up in a hospital bed. A doctor told me I was lucky I hadn't slipped into a coma. A guy I'd never met before came into my room wearing my uniform. He was barely 30. I looked down at myself and saw I was in a hospital gown. Did you steal my uniform? I asked. What? He said. No, this is my uniform. I'm George, one of the day guards. Oh, I said. Sorry. Got a minor concussion. I found you when I opened the mall, he said. What the hell happened? I told him about the statue. How it followed me. That I thought maybe it was a YouTuber. He handed me my phone. I'd left it at the central kiosk playing music. All right, he said. I'm gonna call Mr. Jenkins. Let him know you tackled a YouTuber in the line of duty. But I don't think. I'm gonna tell him what he wants to hear, George said. Don't let his cheap suit and dime store cigars fool you. The guy's loaded. If he thinks you took down a YouTuber last night, he'll cover your hospital bills. Hell, probably even give you a raise. I'll be back in a minute. I want to talk to you about something. George stepped into the hallway to call Mr. Jenkins. While he was out there, I googled the name of the mall and stunting. I'd looked it up on YouTube before and found nothing. But searching the wider internet yielded a different result. On some probably malware-riddled website there was a copy of an old YouTube video that's been taken down. A college-rich girl addressed her viewers from inside her car. She said her name was Amanda. She planned to hide in a restroom before closing. That way she could stay in overnight and stunt. She held up an audio recorder and a night vision camera. I skipped ahead. She sat in a bathroom stall. She sat quietly but kept jerking every time she heard the slightest sound. "What's that?" she whispered. "Who's there?" Another creaking sound. I jumped ahead towards the end of the video. She ran and screamed. "All the doors are gone. All the doors are gone. I don't know how to get out. What's happening?" A guy was with her now. At least I think it was a guy. The face never came into view. There was a strange ambient sound in the video too. I can't tell you what it was. George came back in my hospital room. I stopped the video. "Jenkins sends his regards," he said. "Said he'd call the hospital and take care of the bill, and you should find a mall gift certificate in your locker next time you're in. Doctor said you can leave today. No reason to stay overnight. You need a ride back? Get your car." I shuddered. "I don't know if I want to go back there," I said. Maybe I didn't explain what I saw right, but I said I wanted to talk to you about something. George said, "I believe you saw something weird last night. Something you can't explain. You're not the only one who's had that happen. There's a group of us. If you come by tonight, around 6 p.m, we meet in the back room of the drunken bar at the gaming store near the food court." "George," I said, "what's in the mall? What did I see last night?" He hesitated, like he didn't know what to say, or there was too much to say. "Come talk to us this evening," he said. "I got to get back to work. Listen, I'll understand if you don't want to come. If you quit. Most guys don't last long on a night shift. I hope to see this evening though. If you tried to tackle one of those things, you're brave. We could use your help." He left. Statues that move at night. And that YouTuber Amanda screamed that all the doors disappeared. I don't know if that's real or what happened to her. Maybe that was for a prank channel too. But I don't know if 8.50 an hour is worth digging for answers on this one. Anyway, if I can't find a better job, or at least meet up with George and his group, I'll let you know how things go.